Hope everybody had a great weekend. So we're really, really excited to get on this call and share what I found out. Talking to Chris Cavanaugh the other day, he's our #1 income earner. He's Diamond Ambassador, 30 years in the industry, so very knowledgeable. And I had so many moments that were just like aha moments for me as a leader. And one of them that I'll start with was just, wow, so many reasons that I left my former company, but it's all really starting to come together now because I really felt like I was done growing where I was. And I wasn't learning more. And like, I'm somebody that always wants growth. I want to be pushed out of my comfort zone. And I want to learn in life, in business, whatever. Oh my gosh, I took so many things away from him. And I want to share it with y'all because I just think that, knowing this, especially if you're new to this industry, knowing the stuff that leaders can teach you, books can teach you, don't ever stop learning because it's just so awesome to be able to evolve and grow and help lead your team. And it doesn't matter if you have one person on your team or 5 million, you're a leader. So always be learning. So let's start. I'm going to start a little bit tonight with just talking about mindset because I do think that it really is what's going to make you or break you in this industry because you don't have a boss. You don't have someone that's saying you've got to do this, you have to clock in at this time and work this long, and these are the things you have to do, and here's your paycheck, right? So in network marketing, you're your own boss, you set your own schedule, and you have to hold yourself accountable. And I feel like that's the hardest part for some people to really grasp. And that is why so many times people will say, oh yeah, I tried that, it didn't work for me. But in reality, it doesn't work for you. You work for it, right? So I always laugh when I hear that comment because it's like you can make any business work for you if you work for it. So let's keep that in mind. Like as we go forward as a team, you're not going to be able to make everyone that you bring on do something, but that's not your responsibility. It's your responsibility to inspire them and show them what to do by your actions as a leader. You're never going to see me say, do X, Y, Z while I sit down and kick my feet up. Like, I promise you, I run circles around a lot of people and I'm a workhorse in this, but that's because I know what I have my hands on and I'm never going to tell my team to do something I'm not willing to step up and do. So let's talk a little bit about mindset. And I want to start with Rochelle because she did an awesome live the other day. And it was just so incredible because I was listening to it and I got chills because I was thinking, gosh, it's the perfect example of, having a dream and then manifesting it and then working towards making it happen. So Rochelle, do you want to unmute and kind of share your story? Maybe some of y'all saw it and maybe you didn't, but listen again anyway because it's so good.
Hi, Bonnie. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Rochelle right outside of New York City, and that is what my dream was. As a kid, I excelled in school. I excelled in outside, whatever, extracurricular, and I read novels all the time. And my first job, a family friend hired me whenever I was 15 at a movie theater, and I fell in love with New York City, or what was portrayed to me in those, through the books and through the movies. And so from an early age, I would tell people, I want to live in New York City for a year. I just want to experience New York City. I want to experience not having a car, walking around, going to the market, going to theater, going to museums. I want to do that. And I had a plan on a couple of different occasions that was actually not just a dream, but a goal to live in New York City. And for different reasons, those had fallen through. And my son has an invention, and he was accepted to show it at a Youth United Nations event. And I was looking for an Airbnb to stay at while I saw him at his event. And I came across this one, and it said that the price was I was like, how can this price be? But you had to stay at least 20 days. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's the moment. I'm really mobile. My day job, I just have, I have this phone, and I can, as long as I can plug it in, I can live anywhere. And so as this kind of came about, and anyone, I don't want to say everyone close to me, but a lot of people have heard me say over the years, my dream is to live in New York City for a year. And so this came about, and I got here. Well, first of all, I was supposed to come on February 9th, Saturday the 9th, and I got to the airport, and I had made a mistake and booked it for Saturday, March 9th. So I'd already paid for my thing. Paid for the Airbnb, and I'd messed up the flight, so I was already a little frustrated. So then I get here on Sunday, and this has been, so since a kid, before I'd even been to New York City, and people would tease me, they'd say, you've never even been here. I was like, I know, it's going to even be better. And the first time I came here, I fell in love. I stayed on Times Square, and my dream even became bigger, more this just passion inside of me that I wanted to get here for at least a year. And so, but whenever I got here, now I'm in my room, so I'm at an Airbnb. I'm in my room. My room is lovely. It's really big. But whenever I saw the bathroom and the kitchen, they're a little painful. And so I actually called my brother, and I was crying. I was like, I can't cook in that kitchen. I don't cook a lot. I love to cook, but whenever it's just me, I don't do a lot of cooking. I can't cook in that kitchen. I don't want to go to that bathroom. And so I really was ready to just bail. I was like, I paid for a month. I can't get that month back because it's on a month to month. I can't get the month back, but I can't do this. I can't deal with that bathroom in the kitchen because they're gross. And my brother said to me, he's known, and he said, Rochelle, this has been your dream for 49 years. Now, I'm only 49, so it's not quite 49 years, but a long time. He said, this has been your dream for 49 years. You're about to be 50. If not now, then when? And he said, how much time are you going to spend in that bathroom and in the kitchen? And I'm crying. I'm like, probably not very much. And then he said the most profound thing to me, and I just want to encourage you just to hang on to this. He said, Rochelle, don't allow yourself to question in the dark, so in a challenging time, what you knew in the light. And so what he meant by that is, while we all have dreams, they never work out perfectly. But this has been such a dream, and I've talked about it, and just what Bonnie said, I've manifested it. And my last name legally is Millions. I don't have millions. I believe without a doubt through New Life, I'm going to manifest that money, and it's not here yet. But he just said, don't question that. You're not going to spend that much time, and don't question. So for me, it just also just went towards any dream we have. There's going to be challenges along the way, and just pulling up my bootstraps. And so here I am. So I was in the city today. I'm about 20 minutes right outside of Times Square, like 18-minute bus ride right outside. So I went to the Roosevelt Hotel, which is beautiful. And I worked there today. I love Broadway. I got a little notice today. I filled out something. I got a little notice today that I could sit in the orchestra and see Pretty Woman on Wednesday for $99. Yes, I bought that ticket. And so so that's the dream. But I think for me, just connecting that there were a few hiccups. Am I really if it wouldn't have been for my brother, I would have been out of here, but he just shook me. And I think I also just want to emphasize surrounding ourselves with people that know what our dreams are and know what our goals are, and that they're willing to call us out on that stuff, and then us being self-motivated in that. So Bonnie, is there anything else you want me to add or take away from that?
No, I think that was awesome. I love that story. 49 years in the making. Hadn't been there, and just always had the dream. And I'm living vicariously through her now because I want to see Pretty Woman on Broadway. Okay, so I love that. And it really, have y'all ever, you can put in the chat or raise your hand or something, but have you ever been around somebody who is always negative. I'm not talking about a bad day. We all have bad days. Just somebody that everything that comes out of their mouth all the time you talk to them, they're always sick. They're always something. Their car broke down. You know, it's like a country song. You know, the dog got ran over and the tire went flat, and it literally is and they drain you to talk to them and have conversations, because it's always something bad. And I want to talk about energy. Like, a lot of times we say, like, what you're around. That is true, what you're around. It's also the heart and the head connection. So like, you know, we think with our head, but did you know that your head and your heart are truly connected in so many ways? And if you start thinking with your heart, you can retrain your brain on what it perceives. Did y'all know that? So a lot of times just waking up and saying, I'm so grateful to have my health to get out of bed. I'm so grateful to see another day. I'm so grateful for a healthy family. Like, if you'll just go through the gratitude of life, and what you're thankful for and happy for, and just, you know, things like that, you can actually truly retrain your brain that even when negative circumstances come about, you cannot breed negative energy or feel from it. And it'll be harder and harder to be around those people that give that energy. It's like neurons. You just can't connect. You can't connect with those people anymore. And I say you outgrow them, you know, in a sense, because you've retrained yourself to not accept that. And it could be for your life. You know, maybe you've had a really hard life and you want to, you know, come into the mindset of, well, it's just always been that way. And so I'll just fall into the trap if I don't expect better because I haven't had better. But that's not accurate. Like, everyone has hard. Everyone's level of hard might be different. It's different circumstances that we've gone through. And someday I'll share my story if you don't know it, but I promise you, I've had a very, very hard life. And by definition, you know, I should not be in the situation I'm in, but I decided I wanted something different for myself, for my family, for my kids, and for my future. And so you get out of this life what you want. You just have to decide that you're worth it enough to put the excuses away, believe that you can, and dig your heels in every single day. And guys, it's a flash. Y'all know it. You know how fast life goes. So it's up to you and you alone to decide, I'm going to show up. I'm going to put the time in, whether I feel like it or I don't, because we have a vehicle that is unlike anything I've ever seen in this industry. And after, like I said, after my conversation with Chris, I'm even more excited about it. And I'm going to be so transparent with y'all about it, because I think it's really important to see my thought process, and then how this conversation really even changed my thought process. Like, I knew it was great, but I really didn't know how great, I guess I can say. So again, it leveled me up. I really feel like I've been, you know, just taken aback. Like, I was mind blown. Honestly, I couldn't even talk. I called Rochelle right after, and I was just like, you know, she's like, tell me what happened, because she knew I was going to have the conversation. I mean, I was literally like, I didn't even know where to start. Like, I was so excited, but I was still at a loss for words. It was just something. So I hope that, you know, you guys will get something out of it too. But I do want to say, if you're not telling yourself positive things every day, telling yourself that you will be successful. I don't want to hear, I hope. Like, you know, Rachel put up the check and I posted it in our team page as well. Print that out. Write yourself a check. Jim Carrey did it. You know, he wrote his, and I can't remember, I think it was for $10 million or something like that. And he was broke. He couldn't get a job. And I want to say it was only about 5 years later. Don't mark my words on the time frame, but it was about 5 years later, and he landed a job that it made him exact the amount that he wrote the check. And if you haven't read the book, The Secret, write that down. The Secret, and read it. And it doesn't matter what you believe, because, you know, I'm a Christian. Yes, I believe that God makes things happen. But I also believe that he gives you a brain and free will to decide which path. So you can take a lot of different paths. So you can decide to take the path that he wants for you, or you can decide to sabotage it. And that's your free will. So I would absolutely get into and hang, you know, if you're talking to people, they're like, well, I'm just not sure this is going to work out. Or you're talking to friends that are like, good luck with that. I've tried that kind of business before and it's a pyramid. You know what? Let them believe that. You don't have anything to prove to them. You only have something to prove to yourself. So it's no sense in arguing. It's just do what's best for you. Is it 10 million in 3 years? Okay. I knew it was something crazy, but so yeah, just stay on track with the people that you want to go where they're going and do what they're doing. Cause that's how we learn. You copy the right cat, right? And it'll take you really far. And this is a huge, just showing up to the team Zooms, getting to the events. If you haven't booked Dallas, go to Dallas, y'all. Being at a conference convention, especially the first one, there's only one first, and this is our company first one. I mean, it's life-changing. I know we talked about it the other day. If I hadn't gone to my first event, I wouldn't have been successful in my last company. I probably would have quit, because it really takes seeing that vision. And it's not always something that I can tell you or your leader can tell you. It's something you have to feel. You have to be around. And, it's that moment that you literally just get chills and you're like, everything changed. Everything changed, not just business, but everything changed. Your whole mindset changes on your world. It makes you grow as a person, not just in business. So go. It's so important, and just to get around like-minded people as well. Okay, so let's dive into my conversation with Chris Cavanaugh. So if y'all know me at all, you know that I'm the type of person that's like, if you don't ask, it's always no. So I always ask. And I just wanted to have a conversation with him just about some ideas that I had. And again, I told you I'm going to be very transparent through this, because I think that it's a lot of good insight and maybe some things that y'all have been thinking as well if you've been in the industry. So we were talking, and I just was, telling him about me because I'm on his team. We're on his downline, all of us on here, okay? And again, he is the number one earner. He's awesome. You've probably heard him on some training calls. He's been in this industry for 30 years. He's made millions. He's helped write comp plans. He's helped in manufacturing. He knows this industry. He knows how companies run. I mean, he's just very, very knowledgeable. So if you see that he's going to be on a call, get on, because you'll learn a lot. So we kind of just started talking about, what is coming for this company down the road. And I was saying, what about products? Is it possible we could get a new product before May? Because I heard that they were going to come out with one in May. And he was like, yeah, I see your point. It would be so cool to have one, because I'm like, volume would skyrocket right before May. He's like, right. But here's the thing. Manufacturing, it takes time. And right now with us trying to get our new back office, which is going to be in about 2 to 3 weeks, he said, we want to put everything into that so it can be as smooth as possible through the transition. And he's like, this will be the best of the best. Now, if you're not been in this industry, especially as a leader, you're probably like, what's wrong with the back office? But if you have, you know that it's very difficult to see what your team is doing and run reports and things like that. So he said, this one is going to be again, the best of the best. Something about Alexi. If he wants to upgrade something, he doesn't just step up. He goes all the way up. He's like, where's the best? Okay, I want that one. And so that's what he did. So I'm super excited about that. And he said, we have 12. Well, first of all, Alexi has 600 formulations that he's made, and he's been doing this for 26 years. So 600, that's a lot, y'all. We have 12 products ready to come, ready for us. But they're not going to roll them all out at once. That would be way too crazy. He said, but we're not ready to mass produce it until May. But just know, in May, we will have another product. So this is what I want to tell y'all. Wherever you are, pretty much think about once we go and they launch this, that you'll double that volume. So if that means you're, at 100 and 100, you're going to probably double that volume. If you're at 50,000 and 50,000, you're going to double that volume. So just think like that. And if you're not where you want to be to double that volume, get there before May. That would be a huge goal and something that you want to see happen, because your team will massively explode come a new product release. Okay, so then we talked about that, and then he said we will have another one in August. So we have the what is it, regional, I guess is what they're calling it, in May, and then the national convention in Vegas in August. So that's 2 products just this year. He said all 12 of these products that will be coming soon are going to be, what does he call them? I wrote it down because I want to use this specific word he said. Category changing products is what he called it, meaning other companies don't have them. They're not Me Too products. So like the gel, when it came out and went viral, basically that's what's going to happen again. So another category changing product that people want and they don't have. So I really want y'all to think about that in this industry, just alone, just having products that nobody else has that you can't get at a store. They have to get it from you. Like, do you know how awesome that is? Because so many companies have Me Too products, and there's great products on the market, but they have a lot of competition, and we have none. We have none. So I think that puts us already like a step above everybody else, just because we don't have that conversation or that competition. Okay, so let's see, where do we want to talk about next? Okay, so I want to talk about Alexi, because I really think that this was something, and I knew he was great, y'all. I talked to Alexi for like an hour, right, when I pretty much got started. And I mean, this CEO, I've never seen anyone more humble, any CEO. And I've talked to a lot and met a lot, and I've never seen it. So some things that stick out at me about Alexi. He is all about his team. He's all about us. He wants the best for us. Here's a guy who will sit in customer service when they were trying to fix customer service and answer phones because he wants to know how it's going. And I don't know who does that. Like, I'm just saying, in a CEO position, who's actually going to sit in there and just answer phones? You know, I think he was doing it daily for a while until it got on track. A guy that in a year's time, when, you know, the numbers that we did, over 100 million, which only 2 companies have ever done that, ever in the history of this industry. And we were one of them. Like, that is making history, y'all. You understand that? Like, over a decade ago, another company did it. But in that time, no one else has done it. And we did it. And you know what's even more crazy? We did it with one product, just one. And we did that kind of growth. I think, I mean, if you really think about that, that in itself is mind-blowing. So what's going to happen when we come out with 1 and 2 more products? Nobody's going to keep up. It's just going to be so crazy. So, and Alexi, the other thing is he could have taken a very nice paycheck last year from the sales. And you know what he did? He didn't. He didn't take it. He put it all back into the company so that he could go and find certified homeopathic facilities that he could ship our product out as we needed so much more product. He went and bought so much more inventory. He hired, you know, customer service agents so that we could support the growth of what was happening here. He's getting the best of the back office. Like, he's bringing the right people on board so we can have a scientific board, so we can have an FDA attorney that can keep us in compliance, so that we can have a medical directory board that can help us with our questions. And, you know, Chris said to me, he said, what company ever in this industry have you seen that's had this many physicians on board? And I'm like, I've never seen it. And he said, that's because of Alexi. He said, so doctors, they don't typically get involved with MLM, but they're not even looking at New You Life as an MLM. They're looking at it as a legit business opportunity with products from someone that they respect so well in this industry, and they want to partner with him. It's not just about money for them. It's that they trust Alexi and what he's been able to create with his products, and they know that they will help their patients. And that is huge to me. Like, the fact that he is just so well respected in the medical world, that so many doctors, and I'm talking big name doctors, y'all have heard them on the calls, they're lining up to be partnered with this company. And they're in interviews to figure out who's going to be on the board. We didn't have to go out and find them. They came to us. They came because of him. And I just think that, I don't know, I'm just so proud of that. I'm so proud that here we have a company and a man who not only stands behind his products, he created them. Like, his heart and soul is into these products. And he's been doing it for 26 years old. And this is his passion. And this is his baby. And this is something that he wants to build, that he wants to be here forever as a legacy, not just for his family, but for all of our families. And that, y'all, that's just special. Like, that's really special in this industry, because there are some companies that go and find products and they say, all right, let's run it up. Let's make billions and sell it off. And that's not where we are. You're not going to see this be blown up and sold off. This is something that's here for the long run, and you're on the basement level. Like, does that not give you chills? It gives me chills. It just makes me so excited that we are getting to pioneer this company from the basement floor, and someday it's going to be a massive empire that we got to build. And if you're not proud of that, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you might as well just move on right now, because I can't even. I'm so excited for that. I think it's just so exciting. Okay, so then Chris says to me, Jeff Bezos, that's the Amazon guy, right? And I'm like, yes. And he said, so his story, like he sat in a garage and he told everybody, I have this dream. I'm going to have this online site, and I'm going to be able to sell products from, everywhere. Every store, you're going to be able to go, and you're going to be able to go on this site and buy a product, and it's going to ship to your house. Y'all, he was laughed at. It's like Noah building the ark. All right. He was laughed at. And what has he done? This is what Chris said to me. What has he done? And I'm like, well, he's like the richest man, and he's pretty much shut down every store. He goes, right. And then he said, Alexi will do to the health and wellness industry what Jeff Bezos did to the world. He said, that's going to happen, because no one can compete. No one can compete when you don't have Me Too products. There's zero competition. None. They can't even copy it. He has a patent. Like, it's not going to happen. So they can try, and they can come out with precursors, and they can try to mimic all the things. But by then, this company's worth billions. Like, it's worth billions. And if you're in it, you're going to be worth millions, billions. I don't even know. I can't even fathom. But when he said that, he goes, we will shut down health and wellness, meaning these other companies, they're going to plateau. They might go belly up. All their people are going to come piling out over here. Guess what? They're going to end up on your teams. Leaders from all different companies are going to see what we're doing. They might be laughing at us now because they're like, oh, they only have one product, whatever. They might be laughing now, but you know what? In another 6 months, year, 2 years, they're not going to be laughing. They're going to be on your team. Isn't that crazy to think about? And by then, how many products do we have? How many countries are we in? How all over the world is your team? What countries, think about that. Like, where do you have a team now? I know we're going to go to Canada sooner than later. So, start thinking about if you know people there. And then it's all over the world, guys. It's all over the world. So we're so on the beginning. So don't get frustrated. Don't throw in your towel. Like, just keep moving forward every single day. Copy your leaders. Do what they're telling you to do. We're not blowing smoke. We're doing it with you. I promise. You may be so frustrated by the day-to-day. But I kind of relate this to raising children. Okay, so how many moms? Raise your hands. I can't really see anybody on here. Nobody's showing their pictures, but raise your hands or comment in the chat if you're a mom or dad. That's fine. Dads too. Now we have some guys. Okay, so when you first have a baby, and I'll just tell my story of first having a baby. So my husband and I own cafes, and he would get up super early, and then he'd be gone till super late, and I'm a new mom, and you're tired, and I was only 25. I didn't have anything to be tired of, except he was not a good sleeper at all. But your days seem so long. You know what I mean? Those day-to-days when you're in the trenches of changing diapers and nursing around the clock, and they're never sleeping, and you're just like, I need a break. these days are so long. But all of a sudden you blink and you take them to kindergarten, and then you blink again and they're in middle school, and you blink again and they're in high school, which I don't have one in high school yet, but I will soon. And it just goes so fast, right? Not the beginning. The beginning was like, gosh, these days are so, so long. I always say the days are long, the years are fast. But it's the same thing in business. So you're in the infancy stage of your business. And sometimes the days can seem like you're literally just pedaling and you're not moving. You feel like you're on a stationary bike sometimes, because you're like, I'm doing what they're telling me to do, and I'm just not getting anywhere, right? But then all of a sudden, you get more friends that come along, and more friends that come along, and more friends that come along, and you just start talking, and you don't realize the time's going by, and all of a sudden you're miles and miles and miles down the road. You look back and you're like, whoa, how'd I get here? It's the same kind of thing with this business. It takes time. It takes time for people to take you seriously. That's why when we say stay consistent, you've got to stay consistent. Consistency is key. So if you're not staying consistent, no one's going to take you seriously. And they might have really been interested, but then they look at me, because maybe they know me, but not as well. And I'll just make an example. Okay, so maybe they've been watching you and you're really good friends, but you didn't stay consistent, and they saw me and they're like, okay, well, she's staying consistent. And then they reach out to me because they took me seriously, right? So we are, and we're not yet, but we will be a household name. And you don't want to have your best friends be on someone else's team. You want to tell them. So don't be scared to start reaching out to people and be that person, because eventually, I'm telling you, St. Louis is about to go boom because we are growing. And it's going to happen everywhere like that. So make sure that you are not being scared of those people on your chicken list and telling them. And with that, I want to tell y'all just about business in general too. So I'm going to talk about my husband and I own cafes, and we have for the last 14 years. And it's hard, y'all. Traditional business is really, really hard. And it's a lot of money. So when I say we have over $1 million invested, that's true. And then you work really long hours. So, I mean, he's done this for a really long time, and my husband's very good at what he does. So he wasn't the typical one. He, did better. But in traditional business, you do invest a lot of money up front, and then you work tirelessly. Like I said, he would get up at 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes I wouldn't see him till 10 at night because he would open close in the beginning, And then as we expanded with other ones, same kind of thing. You always had to start over when you would expand. And so that's what he did. And he works really, really long, really hard hours, trying to create a menu, get to know his customers, just all the things that come along with that. I don't even know all of it. It's a lot. And if you profit in your first 5 years, okay, not months, 5 years, you can consider yourself a successful business owner, because most people close their doors in that time if they can't make it. So here we are, able to start our business for $199, $559, whatever, minimal costs compared, right? And we can make $1 million in our first year, thousands, hundreds, whatever, in our first year. Like, if you're making anything a month right now, you're a successful business owner compared to traditional. So sometimes I think we have to keep things in perspective when we get started in a business, because we maybe want to go really, really fast, and we want to make really, really big money really, really fast. But if you actually put it in perspective of business, you are a success. If you took home a $20 paycheck, you're successful. Okay? So say that to yourself. I am a successful business owner. I'm not losing money. I'm a success. Okay? Let's see what else I want to talk about. Oh, another thing about Alexi that was so impressive. So when they had this shortage over last summer, the 4-month shortage, okay, and I mean, I'm just going to say what it was. It was a train wreck, because this company grew so fast, and they never could have expected the crazy growth that they were going to have, which is a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have. However, they weren't prepared for it. And, people were telling Alexi, oh, dilute the product, send it out anyway. And he said, I won't. I absolutely will not do anything different to change my product. He holds himself to high standards. He's like, there's never a way I'll do that. I don't care. So he, ended up, like I said, putting on a hold and opening all these new places and whatnot. But in the meantime, some product that was supposed to go out, the credit card systems weren't working right, and people were ordering. And you know what our CEO does, y'all? He sent the product. He sent the product and he ate the cost. And I don't remember the exact number, but it was something crazy over $200,000 or something like that. Like, who does that, right? But he did that because that's how he cares for people. Another thing that he did was, so at some point, this system was overpaying reps. I don't know why. It was paying higher than it was supposed to pay. And he could have easily said, hey guys, we had a system issue. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take this back out of your check because it was overpaying. I don't know what happened, whatever. He didn't. He said, pay him. And he paid him out of his pocket. He paid him. So this is the guy that's not taking money, and yet he's paying his people. And I mean, you're in good hands. Like to having somebody like that, I don't know. I can't say enough about him and what I think about him. I think he's amazing. Okay. So things that are coming to be excited about. Again, the product is coming. I don't know the ins and outs, but I do know some new promotions will be coming in May. So again, you want to be in Dallas. It's going to be so, so exciting. And then in August, there's going to be some more exciting things. Let me just say this. If you like to travel, you're going to be really, 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 really excited come August. Okay, so if you are somebody that loves to travel and have fun with your friends, you want to get there to Vegas in August because that will be some very exciting promotions going on there as well. The world. Did I leave some stuff out, Rachel or Rochelle? Oh, I know what I'm going to talk to y'all about. Here's something I want to talk to you about. Okay, here's the transparency part, and I don't care. I don't really want y'all to air this anywhere that people can see that aren't on the team, but I'm fine with telling y'all just because I was blown away by this in the comp plan. So we started talking about my previous company and what I made. And no, we don't know the dates for August, but we'll post them as soon as we find out. And he said, so about how many people did you have on your team? And I said around 75,000. And he said, what did you do sales-wise each month? And I said, anywhere from like 1 to 3 million. And he said, and what did you make? I said, my average checks were somewhere between 40 and 60,000 a month. And he said, okay. And he goes, do you want to know what kind of comp plan you're in? And I said, yeah. And he goes, if you do those numbers here, you'll be making $200,000 to $350,000 a month. So look at the difference. Same numbers, but look at how big of a difference that is. And that is what you have your hands on. He will do 3 to 5 million this year, he said. He'll take that home. And he said in the next 3 to 5 years, there will be people in this company making $1 million plus a month. Like, isn't that nuts? Isn't that crazy? Like, think about that. And you might be like, shh, I can never do that. Don't say never. You can. You're in the basement of this opportunity, and it's just up to you to get in the driver's seat, and I'm not going to waste that time. Like, I'm going for it. Okay, last thing we talked about. He said, we got to change our mindset in this company because we're not filling boxes. Like, we don't have charts. We're not trying to just bring in people to fill boxes so you can promote. We're actually building a legit business, and we can do that with 10 people that want to go with us. So 10 people that want to make a lot of money is all you need. And then you need to help each one of those people get their 10 people who want to make a lot of money. So he said, what I do, this is him talking. He said, so what I do is when I meet with somebody, he goes, say I meet with you. And you say, okay, yeah, I want to get started and I'm going to do the $199 option. He'll say, then, you know what, Bonnie? I think you should start as a customer because I think that you should try the gel and build your belief in the product and then come talk to me, because I'm really looking for business building people, and business building people need to get some skin in the game and invest in their business. And so what I want is that he said, I want you to start with the 4-pack or the 8-pack. Here's why. Because if you have a higher investment into this company, you're not going to sit on your butt waiting to try a product. You're going to go out. You're going to start talking to people. You're going to want to sit down with them. You're going to want to share your excitement with them, because you want to make that investment right back, and you're going to profit. You're going to sell it to them retail for $169.99. They're going to fall in love with the gel. They're going to come back to you and either want to sign up on your team because they're going to want to share it, or they're going to want to order it again. And from there, what do you tell them? Well, I can save you $20 if you order as a preferred customer. Don't say auto ship, y'all. It scares people. Don't say that word. Say preferred customer. And then they get to save $20 on that, okay? And that is so cool. I never thought about it. He said, we're trying to build a legit business. And if you're literally letting people buy it for $200, I'm not saying that's cheap, but it's not crazy. You know, it's not a crazy amount out of their pocket. And he said, and then there's no skin in the game. And so he said, personally, he sells the 8 bottles. And he said, and you know what? Somebody was on the verge of bankruptcy and I made her find it. I said, well, when you're ready to get the 8 bottles, let me know. Because I knew if I could push her outside of her comfort zone to have to get out there and talk to people, I could change her life. And if I let her start with the $199, she would have sat there and talked herself out of it and been scared, and she'd still be broke. And she's making $21,000 a week right now, and she was on the verge of bankruptcy. And you know what? That was like the biggest aha to me. It was such a mind shift. It was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like these companies that downgrade their brands and they basically give stuff away, it's free or it's cheap. It's no wonder nobody does anything, because they're not invested. They're not invested. If we had to open up doors of our cafes and someone handed it to us, do you think my husband would have worked his ass off? No, because somebody gave it to you. Somebody gives it to you, you don't take it as seriously. It's not as important, right? But if you have to pony up $500 or $1,000, whichever way you're going to go, heck yeah, you're going to want to make that back. $500, $1,000, that's a lot of money. So you know what? That changed my focus, and I've really been telling people that. I want to work with people who want to make 6 figures a month. That's who I'm looking for. No offense if you're here for $500, you can totally be here. I don't think you're probably on this call if you want that, because they're not as invested. But if they want $500 to $1,000, you can do it in your sleep here. It's hobby money. You can sell the product. But if you want 6 figures a month, you're probably on this call because you're out of your comfort zone and you want to learn. And this company can take you there. This is a vehicle that can take you to 6 figures a month. I know I'm going. I know, Rochelle's going, and Anne-Marie's going, and Rachel's going, and Kim's going. Yeah, Denise is going. So there's a lot of us going there, and I would venture to say there's a lot of people in this Zoom. Again, you wouldn't show up if you weren't trying to go up. So I just want to tell you that's where the company's going. I will not be shocked if we do $1 billion in the first few years whatsoever. And there's enough for everybody and all your friends too. So make sure that you're reaching out. Make sure that you're creating that urgency. And I want you guys to seriously write your check. Write your check to yourself. What are you going to see when you open your back office? Is it $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month, or a week? However you want to do it. It doesn't matter to me, but write it down and stare at it. Work for it every day. Put your excuses away. Start thinking about the life that you want to create, not the life that you're living now, but where you're going. Don't stay stuck where it is. And your thoughts and your actions have to align. So if you're gonna go big, you gotta work big. That means you might not be watching TV for the next 90 days. Okay, you have the rest of your life to watch TV. But decide what you want and where you want to be by Dallas. I like short-term goals because I think they're more attainable. I don't like to say where I'm going by the end of this year, even though I have my direction. I like to say, okay, short-term, I want ambassador by the end of March. Okay, so that would be my short-term goal. And then you have to help a lot of people reach their goals, which is why I love this comp plan. You have to help a lot of people to reach their goals so you can get to your goals, right? And so we're all working together to go places. Again, start your day with gratitude, positivity. Made something else here. I guess that was it. That's what I was going to say. But okay, yeah. So write it all down. And what's Rachel saying? Join Rachel tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern for a training Zoom. Yes, our Tuesday night training Zoom. And she is going to talk to you guys about growing. We're going to do some more training on kind of just adding on to this, but how to do. We're going to do the how-tos tomorrow. So, okay, I hope that was helpful. I got to jump on another Zoom here in 10 minutes, so I'm going to jump off here. But, well, I guess we have 5 minutes if y'all have any questions. I don't know, Rachel, if you want to stop the recording or keep it going. Anybody have questions?